Comment on the poet's choice of the word thick. In line 1, I know it's not the way you guys use it on social media. This word relates to the rain. It is thick like a blanket. It's textured, a very heavy rain. How does line 2 create an ominous tone? Refer to the extended metaphor in your answer. This figurative winter oppression will only get worse. Only just entered. Things will get far worse before they get better. And we have an allusion here to possible violence, not illusion with an I, allusion with an A, to possible violence and uprising against the oppression. Question 3, who's the speaker addressing in line 3? How is this effective? All readers, in fact, all South Africans. So RSA, no DNA, just RSA. All people should be afraid of the resistance. There will be violence in response to the oppression. How is the sense of violence portrayed in lines 4 to 5? So, the sea is described as swollen, churning in broken waves. So this is a destructive ocean, not a peaceful and serene ocean. It's a dangerous place to be. Comment on the inclusion of the word shroud. It's a cloth traditionally used to cover dead bodies in preparation for a funeral, and the word intensifies the feelings of fear, anger, and helplessness in the face of weather conditions. This rain and cold can kill those unprotected from it. Okay, why would people fear winter? Refer to more literal and figurative meanings of the word. So this is the preferred answer from the government here. So homeless people or people living in shacks or shanty towns would fear winter because they're exposed to the elements all the time. It's cold and wet. They can fall ill and possibly die. And this is the literal interpretation. The figurative element compares winter to a time of political and social hardship in South Africa. Those left unprotected, the non-whites, will be exposed to hardship and possibly death. In line 7, our figure of speech is definitely going to be a metaphor. The amount of sadness, if so great, that if it were in liquid form, it would make up a sea. It would drown anything in its path. Explain the effectiveness of this metaphor here. Tombstones engraved with open eyes. So the stillness of the men is such that they seem to be carved from stone. They have become so hardened that they seem dead. If it were not for the open eyes, they look dead but are alive. How does the reaction of the children to the rain differ from the adults? So the adults, they're fearful, but the children, they run wildly, they're active, they're alive. To what does the raging fire of dead children in line 27 refer to? So please listen carefully. This seems to refer to the children who died in violent uprisings like Sharpeville, Soweto, etc. The word raging here, okay, it suggests the passion of the children and the ugliness of the system oppressing them. Children died when trying to bring about change during the apartheid era. Question 11, this discussion of sky throughout the poem and its implication in line 28. So rain comes from the sky and it's now collapsing under centuries of rain. At first, the sky is just that, a sky, but it then intensifies to a sky tolling like a black bell, and in the final stanza, it's falling. The apartheid system has become almost unbearable, and the time for change has arrived. Okay, almost there. Question 12, comment on the effectiveness of the anaphora, who is not frightened, who is not frightened, who is not frightened. So, anaphora, indicative of repetition. It suggests the inclusion of all the readers and South Africans, and it emphasized warning to the oppressors that a revolution is coming. Things have to change. And last question, the final 2 lines. So at first, the anaphora was 1 line. Now it's extended over 2. And this adds to the idea that the quote-unquote winter is about to arrive. It is very ominous and foreboding, and it acts as a warning of what is to come.